The sine rule, here we go. So the rule is side A over sine of the angle A equals side B over sine of the angle B equals side C over sine of the angle C. And that's the sine rule summarised. However, there's more to it than that. Because not only can you just write it in this way, you can write it as each one with the reciprocal. So sine of the angle A over the side A equals sine of the angle B over side B equals sine of the angle C over side C. Both of these are actually correct. But in the question, you only want to use 2 from one of the sets, so either 2 from that set or 2 from that set. So we've got the rule on the left here, and all the individual variations you may need to use on the right here. So there are 6 variations, but you only pick 2 from this one or 2 from this one. And I'll show you how that works. Now it's asking us to find angle CAB, which is CAB. So it's actually this angle here. So I'm going to draw this on, and we've got the angle, and I'm going to call it theta. Now for the sine rule, we've got here a corresponding pair and angle, because we've got angle C and side C. And we're looking for angle A, and we've been given side A. So we're going to be using the A's and C's from the sine rule. And because we're trying to find the angle, I'm actually going to use the rule with the signs on top. So we have sine of angle A over side A equals sine of angle C over side C. We don't use B, and we can't anyway because we've not been given any information for any of it. Next step, we want to substitute in the values. So we'll have sine of A, which is angle theta, over A, which is 29, equals sine of angle 40 over 19. We're almost at the point we can put it into our calculators, but not quite yet, because firstly, we want to get rid of this 29 from this side, so we need to multiply both sides by 29, so that will leave us with sine theta equals 29 multiplied by sine 40 all over 19. Next step's a little trickier, but we want to get theta on the side on its own. We want to get rid of this sine. So in order to do that, we need to do the inverse function of sine to both sides. So we'll have theta equals sine minus 1 of 29 sine 40 over 19. And if you pop that into your calculator, you're going to end up with theta equals 78.8 degrees to 1 decimal place. Our second example, before it's your go, it says find the length of side AC. So length AC, so this one here. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to call it X. So we can visually see a lot easier which one we're trying to find. So we've got this side here, which is actually side B, and we've got angle B. So we've got a corresponding pair, and we've also got angle C and side C. And because we're trying to find the side, I'm going to write the lowercase letters, or the sides, on top of the formula, and the angles on the bottom. So we have side B over sine of the angle B equals C over sine of the angle C. Substitute in the values, so we'll have X over sine of the angle B, which is 40, equals side C, which is 37, over sine of the angle C, which is 19. Do a little bit of rearranging. So we want X on the side on its own, so we need to multiply both sides by sine 40. So we'll be left with X equals 37 times sine 40 all over sine 19. Pop that into your calculator, and we're going to end up with an answer of X equals 73.1 kilometers to 1 decimal place. So here's 3 for you to have a go with. Find the side X or angle theta, pause the video, resume again when you're ready for the answers. So for the first one, the green one, we're looking for side A. So I'm going to use the lowercase letters on top, so A over sine of A equals, and then we've got angle B and side B, so equals B over sine B. Substituting the values, so we've got X over sine of the angle A, which is 44, equals side B, which is 19, over sine of the angle B, which is 51. We need to do a bit of rearranging to make sure we've got x on a side on its own. So multiply both sides by sine 44. So we'll have x equals 19 multiplied by sine 44 all over sine 51. Finally, pop this into your calculator and you'll end up with an answer of x equals 16.98 centimetres to 2 decimal places. You may have also got 17.0 if it was to 1 decimal place. If you find it easier, you can find the value of sine 44 and this value if you prefer, and then just use those numbers. I personally prefer to leave them in these formats to make it more accurate when we're typing it in the calculator at the end, so we've got a higher degree of accuracy. Second question, orange one. So we're trying to find x, which is a side, which is also side C. So we've got the C pair and the B pair. And because we're trying to find the side, I'll keep the letters on the top. So we have B over sine of angle B equals C over sine of angle C. Substituting the values. So side B, which is 48, over sine of the angle B, which is 37, equals x, so that's side C, over sine 110. Do a bit of rearranging. Now we need to get x on a side on its own, so we need to multiply both sides by sine 110. So we've got 48 sine 110 all over sine 37 equals x. Type that into your calculator and you'll end up with a value of 74.94868699, or rounded to 1 decimal place, you'll have 74.9 kilometres equals x. Final question, the white one. We've got the A pair and we've got the C pair. And we're trying to find angle A. So I'm going to write the angle or the sine values at the top and the side values at the bottom. So we've got sine of the angle A over side length A equals sine of the angle C over side length C. Substitute the values at this point. So we'll have sine of theta over side length A, which is 82.6, equals sine of the angle C, which is 77, all over side length C, which is 89.1. We want to get sine theta on a side on its own, so we're going to multiply both sides by 82.6. So we'll have sine theta equals 82.6 multiplied by sine 77 all over 89.1. And then finally, in order to get theta on a side on its own, we need to do the inverse function of sine, which is sine to the minus 1. So theta equals sine to the minus 1 of 82.6 sine 77 all over 89.1. Again, some of you might want to find the value of that first before doing this part, so you'll just have sine minus 1 of a number. It's up to you which way you do it. I just do this personally because I prefer it. So once you've typed this into your calculator, you'll be left with theta equals 64.59369332, or 64.6 degrees to 1 decimal place. And that's all for this video. Check out the next one, which is the cosine rule. Check out some of my other videos. Check out all the videos. But whatever you do, stay safe and healthy out there, and I'll see you in the next video.